Hello and welcome to another episode of Replay Casting. I'm your caster Annie, aka Android, and today we've got replay number 2212165270. I'm not alone here. I'm going to be joined by my wonderful co-caster. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Erik Metze, or Stomarapot, depending on whatever you want to call me. And,
Alright. Yeah, so we've got an excellent game here. This game was submitted by Positive Dodo, playing the Winter Wyvern. The rest of his team is going to be made up by Prinz auf Blietz on the Anti-Mage. It's going to be League of Legends, playing up the mid Zeus. Up here we've got Vinsky on the offlane Tidehunter, and over here in the jungle is going to be Samzai on the Enchantress. You want to go ahead and introduce the Dire?
Sure thing. On the mid lane we have Viper, played by Hidden Pool Resident. We have Yakiro just behind him, played by True Egoist. We have Gyrocopter, played by Gizmo. We have the Crystal Maiden by Roigria Vittel.
Awesome, man.
And on the off lane, I can't read those letters though. I think they're Greek or something.
Let's just call him
SPV. Yeah.
Meanwhile, up
Something
top,
like that.
we've got some initiation here onto the Enchantress. They're trying to go on her. Crystal Maiden does have the Frostbite. She gets it off. There's going to be an Ice Path as well. That little deer lady is frozen up, but she's juking through the trees. Gyrocopter wants to go, and he has the Rocket Barrage, but he's going to have to dive this one deep. Meanwhile, the runes, they are cleaned up here. It's going to be two runes going, a 1-1 rune split as Zeus grabs up the mid and Viper grabs up the top. So this is going to be an interesting middle lane. Who do you think comes out on top here?
Was too busy watching the pull from Gyrocopter on the top lane, but every time there's a Zeus in the mid lane, they're gonna trade farm pretty evenly. Zeus just doesn't deny things, he just gets his last hits with his nuke, so they're both gonna be perfectly fine with this matchup.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that Viper opted to get an early stick, scaling into a magic wand. I think against the Zeus there is no better item, as it's gonna fill up with charges almost instantly.
Yeah, that's the only way to play a mid lane against Zeus. He also went for the early level Impressive Skin. That's gonna help a lot.
Really nice D ward here, down bottom by Positive Dodo. Grabs up the sentry wards, anticipating that this camp is going to be blocked, and she does get the D ward off. So we're going to see an Arctic burn here onto the Enigma. I don't think there's any real follow-up. I think it's just some nice harass, burning down the trees, making for some less jukey Enigma play later on.
It's actually the Enigma coming on top on the harassment though.
Yeah, I mean, Enigma's doing a great job staying in lane and getting a lot of harass out. He's been in the XP range almost the entire time. He's now level 2.5 at 1.5 minutes in the game, keeping up on par with Anti-Mage and the Wyvern. Meanwhile, up top, Gizmo could be in some trouble here. Going to be casting the Rocket Barrage onto Vinsky, but good golly, that Kraken Shell doing some work. He's going to eat himself a Fairy Fire, so Tidehunter's going to stay alive just fine. In the bottom lane, we are going to see Enigma popping off that magic stick charge, keeping himself super healthy.
Basically everyone is farming pretty happily right now.
Positive
really.
Dodo could be in some trouble, going to
Yeah.
be crawling back. Takes a lot of those Malefice charges from the Enigma, and aggressive blink from the Anti-Mage. So he's going to try to go under tower a little bit. There's a Splinter Blast slowing up the Enigma, but certainly not enough damage to get him down. Winter Wyvern going to be gobbling up some tangos, back to flying. So this lane's staggering out just a little bit. In terms of polls, how's the farm from this game stacking up against what you would expect? Is there good farm going both ways, or?
I would say that Viper has performed pretty poorly with denies. He could have denied way more than he has.
Yeah, he's only got one deny.
Otherwise it's, yeah, other than that it's kind of expected really. Anti-Mage may be getting more than he should, because you can use the Eidolons to both deny creeps in lane,
Ooh, bottom.
and use the Eidolons to deny the creeps as well.
Yeah, Positive Dodo going in very aggressively there with the Arctic Burn. Is going to get Malefist up, going with the Cold Embrace, trying to keep himself alive. And finally, Anti-Mage wants to go in, wants to get the final click, but is going to get juked around the trees, taking too many tower shots. Can Winter Wyvern get the first blood? He does! Beautiful wraparound there by the Winter Wyvern. Anti-Mage is going to get through this. Tango's up, so both Radiant Heroes extremely low. But good golly, they survive. This is a close mid, like you said. I think Zeus maybe going in a little bit scared of the Viper harass, but he's certainly getting the farm that he needs. He's got 15 last hits. Viper's on top with 19, but like you mentioned before, not really on top of his deny game.
He is starting to deny now. He already got 3 while you said that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So he's catching up to that, but he has way more to go.
We do see Viper grab up in his range. Yeah, he's going to take a Rocket Barrage to the face. Nice body blocks here, and the Frostbite from the Crystal Maiden is certainly going to help things out. Can he live, though? Is the Kraken Shell just too much? There's another Rocket Barrage here, so Jakiro ends up getting some blood there. Now, Gizmo's very, very low, and we do have a Ice Path stopping out the Enchantress, who wanted to go in and cast that enchant to maybe get a couple more clicks onto Gizmo, but nothing just yet. So this is, it's a little bit tense to start things off. The kill score is relatively even. I feel like most of the lanes are relatively even. Up top, there's a lot of kill potential, but Tidehunter is one of the most survivable offlaners in the game. I think second only to that Faceless Void. And of course, Enchantress, she's got that untouchable skilled. It's going to be hard to go up against her.
The one thing that speaks in favor for the Dire is that Gyrocopter is one of those heroes that doesn't really care about Tidehunter's Kraken Shield.
Well, up
he
top,
would just Rocket Barrage anyway.
Crystal Maiden, she's in a heap of trouble. She's just going to get Rocket Barrage down. So Gyrocopter picks up his first kill of the game, stacked up on top of that first assist. This lane is going so well for the Dire. They've not only gotten some kills up here, but spent most of the time forcing the Radiant heroes back to their own base.
Void the Viper can be in some trouble.
Yeah, looks like Positive Dota will fall, wants to get the deny to neutrals. Will he be able to? No. Enigma goes in with the one right click, and Anti-Mage, he's got the blink, but I don't know if he can just 1v1 Enigma right now. He's not full health, he's not full mana. Anti-Mage has to be a little bit careful. He wants to continue to go in. We'll get a couple more hits off, but again, I don't know if there's kill potential. He's actually getting the Enigma pretty low. He's hitting pretty hard, but Chooks the wrong way around the trees.
Enigma might be killing himself here.
Enigma's trying to get out so hard, but the blink from the Anti-Mage, not enough mana. Oh, there's the mana he needs desperately. Can he pick the right direction to go in? Winter Wyvern's back! TP's into lane and they're just gonna get the kill! Winter Wyvern using that Arctic Burn just to kill secure that Enigma who spent way too long trying to juke around those trees.
Yeah, Enigma would actually survive it. He just walked in a straight path back to the offlane. So he tried to do more than he had to.
Yeah, and that's actually a really well-timed pair of Arcane Boots coming out from the Winter Wyvern. That's, I mean, 6 minutes and a half on top of buying sentries, and I believe the Walking Courier at the start of the game. That's really, really good. Meanwhile, mid, Crystal Maiden brings down the Zeus, able to go in with that Frostbite and the Crystal Nova.
She got 2 kills on the Winter Wyvern, so that helps quite a lot to get those earlier Arcanes, but they're gonna do a lot of difference, because she's maxing the Splinter Blast, and with that ability you can actually farm with Winter Wyvern if Anti-Mage goes anywhere.
Absolutely.
So
and
it's gonna accelerate.
Yeah, he's got the jungle to himself if he needs it. He can always hop in and get it. Enchantress, she's kind of just hanging out here near the mid lane. She's level 4, so she's at least been getting something for herself, and I think once she hits 6, it's going to be really, really hard for some of the squishier Dire heroes like the Crystal Maiden, like the Jakiro to go up against her, because the Impetus can just destroy them. Mid lane, League of Legends might be in some trouble, bringing in the Centaur, hoping to go for a stun. They do get the stun here onto the Viper. Can they turn this around? Viper wants to go in. League of Legends taking a lot of damage, and I don't know who comes out on top here. League of Legends will fall, but I think maybe Enchanters can get something. Slowed up by the poison. One more hit will do it. Does the Centaur get the kill? No. There we go. The final right click from Samzai. Really great job.
She's almost 1 HP on Enchantress.
That's... She's alive. We're going to see Positive Dota going very aggressively here on the Enigma. He has the black hole that catches out too. Positive Dodo, she's under tower. There is going to be that cold embrace if they need it. She's going to go on herself. They do end up getting the kill on the Enigma. Fantastic job, but maybe the tower shots take her out. Either way, worth the kill.
Oh. Failed with the aggro there. That's too bad. I think you can actually switch to aggro during Cold Embrace as well, so...
It's honestly alright. They get the Enigma, and it's just the Winter Wyvern as the Anti-Mage is left up, farming, getting solo XP. It's not too bad.
I think Enigma is happy with that outcome, since he shouldn't have gotten that kill anyway.
Alright, well, it looks like we've got some Sproinks coming out mid as League of Legends taking some heavy harass from the Viper, needs that extra healing power. It's almost kind of turned into a dual mid with the Enchantress. Do you think that's smart to be splitting the XP so thin?
I think it would be more efficient and smarter if Enchantress got her farm from the jungle instead.
Yeah, I
She's one
completely
of the
agree.
fastest jungler in the game, so it's weird to not use that.
Alright,
Let's see
here.
if Zeus can find a kill with the Invis rune here.
Yeah, he's looking. Gonna be hopping up. League of Legends does have the level 7, so he's got the Thunder
There's
God's
a
Wrath.
sentry.
He's underneath the sentry, dodges the ice path there, dodges the call down too. Dire kind of busting it all and not getting any reward. So that's a little less cooldowns, a little less mana, and now Gizmo, he still does have the Rocket Barrage, but the Anchor Smash doing a fair amount of damage. There is no black hole here from the Enigma that rotated up. They're gonna cast the Malefice, and well, there's gonna be an ice path as well. A missile heading in towards the Tidehunter, but he's so tanky. Thunder God's Wrath gets the Enigma very low. One tower shot will bring him to about 50 HP. He's gonna survive for now.
This game has been a story of low HP heroes.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those games where you wish you had a Zeus to ult, and you do, but sometimes it's still not enough.
He needs to pick up those early refresher orb, the 10 minutes Zeus refresher.
10-minute refresher orb, alright.
They got him push the bottom lane, forcing out the glyph. So Anti-Mage is having a fine game. He has 50 last hits in 10 minutes. He's happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to use the Cold Embrace just there on the creep that's taken up the tower. I think that's a fantastic way for Anti-Mage to continue to cut the wave as the next splash of creeps comes through. There's going to be a rotation down. TP to the tier 2 from the Crystal Maiden. I don't think she can get a whole lot out of this. She does have the freezing fields, but...
She can pull the aggro from the creeps, and that's what she's gonna do.
yeah, I mean, they're going to freeze up Anti-Mage, and there is actually an Enigma coming in. He's very, very angry. He has the Malefice if they want to cast it. They go into Positive Dodo. He's going to be getting down very, very low with the Eidolon aggro as well. There is a Cold Embrace, but I think that's just setting up for future death, as there's also a Frostbite.
Yes.
Too much ice in one place. Going to be using the ultimate there, but Crystal Maiden's out of range.
I know, almost.
Yeah, that's it's unfortunate. And
The top tower is gonna fall with the Jakiro burn.
yeah,
It's going
Jakiro
an
gets the last hit on
interesting
that.
skill build on Jakiro.
It's
Max
not
into
terrible.
Ice path.
Yeah, I think
No,
it's really, really
it's
great for
actually
the
very fine,
lockdown.
but it's interesting.
Alright, we are going to have a Thunder God's Wrath here. Not enough to take out the Viper. Maybe just keeping vision on him for a little bit. But now that cooldown's pretty hefty at 85 seconds. And there's going to be a TP down bottom here from the Winter Wyvern. No ultimate. The Splinter Blast goes through. Really great job going through. And now Enigma will fall. There's going to be the ultimate from the Crystal Maiden. She cancels it as she wants to not take as much damage. Blink from the Anti-Mage onto her. Do they have anything to hold her in place? There's going to be a Splinter Blast. It
Splinter
does catch her out.
That's nice.
Really nice job. And
I
down
think
bottom.
she made a mistake by cancelling that ulti.
I think so too. I think she was dead either way, but maybe she could have done some more damage and perhaps taken the Winter Wyvern out with her. TP out from the Dire as they're just so deep.
That
Enchantress,
was a really good TP from Gyrocopter.
yeah, he's gonna be a-okay, and that was also really nice pressure on the lane. Tidehunter dies. That is the third Tidehunter death of the game. He has his Ravage, but he used it.
He
It
has
clearly didn't
he
do
has
enough.
no stacks on the Ancients, so he has no combat potential at the moment. So his farm's gonna be very slow.
Yeah, so we've got Viper here in the mid lane, very, very low. Zeus just kind of charging in, and it's going to get frozen up and punished for this. That was a bit of misplaced aggression. I don't think he needed to go that deep.
He got way too cocky with the haste rune.
Yeah, I mean, he can run, but he can't hide. There's just too much damage coming out from the Dire.
I think they pinked out the ward placed on the Dire side. They saw it.
Oh, black hole at the last second is going to catch out Positive Door. There's going to be an ice path as well. They are going to be able to take out the Winter Wyvern, but the Anti-Mage secures the kill on the Enigma. He's going to try to blink to safety, but meanwhile down here, Rocket Barrage is waiting for him. There's going to be blink coming off cooldown just in time, but Gyrocopter gets the kill.
Really nice rotation from Gyrocopter to get that kill.
Yeah, now there's another rotation from the Dire Heroes onto the mid lane. Could they continue to push this? League of Legends, he's unbelievably squishy. Ice Path is off the mark. They do not have the Macro Pyre on the Jakiro just yet, opting to not to skill it. There's going to be a call down. There's going to be, oh my goodness, the damage coming up from that Gyrocopter is going to pick off the Enchantress, and now, finally, the Crystal Maiden ulti helps secure the Zeus as well. The Dire are starting to run away with this game. Looks like they're going to go for some aggro here. Onto the tier 1 tower. The Fortify's busted before it even gets low. Of course, it does cool down after the tier 1 is taken, but I think maybe they could have waited until the Radiant had some more rotations in. You've got Anti-Mage trying to chase down a Crystal Maiden. She does still have her Frostbite. She's also just going to juke the heck out of him going in, frostbiting himself up and walking away. Down here we've got Vinsky. He may end up going down. Ravage in 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Is he going to need to get it off here? He's going to go back. He has the Ravage if he wants to spend it. I don't think that's the play here. He just wants to get out with his life. He's going to get cold embraced up there by Positive Dodo. And now, oh, more damage coming out as Viper goes in onto the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is frozen. There's nowhere to run. What can, man, Positive Dodo tried so hard to send him back to the fountain safely, but
Ravage.
That's a really good Ravage from the Tidehunter. Ice Path catches out too. Jakiro pulling his weight here, but he may still end up falling. There's a negative urn. There's just so much damage. The Impetus chunking him down. The urn should be enough to finish off his health pool, and yes, he does fall. The Enchantress gets a double kill in that fight. She's still alive. She's still kicking. She's going to be frozen up here, and finally, one more Sproink hit does finish off the Gyrocopter, so a triple kill for Enchantress. Impetus is a good skill. Is this going to be an ultra kill? They're having the Enigma TP out, but Zeus goes in and just secures the kill. They have enough damage.
That's a team wipe.
Yeah, that's an early team wipe too. We're only 15 minutes into the game.
And the kill on Gyrocopter means a lot because he's by far the highest net worth.
Yeah, he's definitely the highest net worth.
Streak.
So Crystal Maiden, she picks up the Casual Bracer. What do you think of that? Is that helping her survivability, or should she build directly into that Glimmer Cape that it looks like she's going for?
I think against the Zeus you want any extra HP you can get, actually, as a Maiden. So I like that pickup a lot.
Yeah, I just don't know if she has the luxury to get it, because, you know, she's really not really close to any items. Yeah, she's got the cloak, but the Glimmer Cape is still a far ways off.
The thing about Crystal Maiden is that she's actually a really good jungler with the Frostbite and the aura. So she can sustain herself in the jungle and just farm at, not Enchantress speed maybe, but half to that. So she can come back with gold and get a Glimmer, and it's decent timing. Gyrocopter is taking a big ancient stack.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really nice for him. He's going to go for that BKB. He's not too far off. Already has the Mithril. Going to be picking up the Ogre Club and soon the Recipe, but he's getting kind of low here. His lifesteal from the Helm is helping him out. Meanwhile, down bottom, it looks like Positive Dodo could be in a world of hurt. There's 4 Dire Heroes down here waiting, wanting something out of this. They might catch out the Enchantress, who's come here with a Wild Ring Ripper. Yeah, she's dead. There's no way she's getting out of this. They even pop a Crystal Maiden ultimate. Yeah, she's bye-bye. Viper gets the kill. And as long as Winter Wyvern doesn't reveal herself too hard here, she might end up living. Enigma going in a little bit deep. Ends up, ooh. Winter Wyvern makes a nice little protective tree nest. Not going to be dying just yet, but the Enigma's here. He's got the black hole as soon as Wyvern shows himself. What was that?
The Dragon's Den that Wyvern has built.
Ah, yes. They do have a black hole. They're looking to catch him out. There is going to be that ice just to show him. Man, this is a case of ice versus ice, but the Winter's Curse gets 3 attacking the Enigma, almost gets the kill. I think Positive Dodo does end up dying here from the Viper, but she delays her death for so long and makes so much space as Anti-Mage rotated up top and secured a tier 1 tower.
You can see the Winter Wyvern ping in the Zeus in frustration, and I can understand why. Zeus had full mana, full HP, everything on cooldown.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was just a little bit scared to walk into that, but at the same point, Tide had Ravage. Tide had a mechanism too. I think the team could have rotated in for a little bit of support and maybe gotten some help there. Now it's going to be Dire, able to push the tier 2. They, again, have all their ults up and ready to go. They should be up a little bit further contesting this.
Dire's going to be content with this. Let's see if they can get out.
They pop down a sentry, but it's just a little too far to catch out Crystal Maiden. There's going to be a TP out, another TP out, but it looks like they are just going to be able to pop the Crystal Maiden before she can TP safely back to base. That's something for the Radiant, but I don't think it's worth what they lost in that last fight.
Definitely not.
So again,
Sentry in the Radiant jungle is gonna miss the Observer Ward.
I know, just by a little bit. That Sentry was popped down because they saw the Crystal Maiden Glimmer Cape and they wanted to make sure they caught her, but again, it was just a little bit of a late reaction, and Crystal Maiden, I mean, she's not the fastest mover, but she's got those tranquil boots.
But that Observer Ward is gonna do, it already secured them the bottom lane fight and tower, but it's gonna keep giving them a lot of information. So it's a really good ward in this game.
Yep. So we are at 20 minutes in the game. The momentum here, it feels like both teams could be completely capable of taking a team fight. The Anti-Mage has his Battle Fury, which is fantastic, on top of a Poor Man's Shield and some treads. In terms of overall XP and gold, it is still in the favor of the Dire, though.
He has close to 2k gold in his bank, so let's see if he goes for the Vladimir build or the
Tidehunter. In a world of hurt, they're gonna drop it all for that guy. They get the ice, they get the black hole, he's gonna live! He's gonna mech himself up. He lived way longer than he should, allowing for more Radiant rotations if they want to go. League of Legends, you might have to back off a little bit, as Dire, they've got the right click.
Are they going to do anything with Tidehunter dead though? That's the question.
Alright, Winter Wyvern picks up a Staff of Wizardry. Is that Force Staff, Yules, the beginning of an Ags? What are we looking at?
I would presume Force Staff at this point.
Right. League of Legends, most likely going to get dunked. We're having a Crystal Maiden dive very deep, but again, cancels the channel of that Freezing Field very early. I think she could have kept it on, done a little more damage to Enchantress. Going to use the Glimmer Cape there to get away safely, only having to deal with a negative Urn Charge. On the back, lads, Positive Dodo really using that Arctic Burn well to get over the cliffs and not have to face the wrath of the Dire as they wrap around here, secure the tier 2, and continue to push, maybe even going for some high ground aggro.
Tidehunter still has his Ravage up, so going high ground feels pretty insane at this point.
Ooh, there's a call down, but it catches out no one. I think they were expecting Anti-Mage to blink in, but it did not work out, and now it's not a super long cooldown, but 45 seconds without any Gyrocopter ult means the Radiant might have their window to go in and get a pick off.
Enigma is also in their own jungle, so he's not going to be around for this fight.
Viper trying to get what he can. They are going to use the ultimate, and finally the Tidehunter busts the Ravage. He's going to get himself a double kill as he takes out the Crystal Maiden and the Viper. That's a huge amount of gold in Tidehunter's pockets, and now he's going to go in. He might pay the price for this. He's going to mech himself up. There's a wonderful Winter's Curse. Everyone's going on Jakiro. Gyrocopter now shows off his new BKB. Will get the kill on the Tidehunter. Enchantress doing what she can with those spronky little impetuses, and it's enough to get down the Gyro. So they've...
That's a 10-second BKB as well.
Yeah, they've only got the Enigma left to defend. He already popped the black hole, so what is he to do here? Maybe send out a couple lucky Eidolons to go to their deaths, but I think this is a tier 1 down.
I think he just sacks it and go farm somewhere else.
Is he going to try to go in for something clutch? I mean, he drops the Midnight Pulse, so he definitely reveals his position, but Radiant, they're going to be merciful now, just focusing on the tower, focusing on objectives. They've got another 24 seconds until Gyrocopter's up, and they're going to use all that time.
It's pretty greedy to still go in for towers, but let's see if they get punished for that or not.
I mean, now we got mass rotations here from the Dire going in. We've got Crystal Maiden using the Glimmer Cape offensively. I don't agree with that. I think she needs to use it as an escape mechanism. We've seen how great it can be up against the impetus of the Enchantress.
I think it was fine to do it offensively this time, because she didn't want to break the Tranquil Boots from the creeps in lane.
Alright, looks like Enigma is going to be going for a Pipe of Insight on top of his mechanism already. I would rather him get a Blink Dagger or something for himself.
I think the Pipe makes a lot of sense.
I think it's a fantastic item, but I wish he had the mobility, because those black holes are really what's going to be locking the Radiant heroes in place, and if you can get one off every single important team fight, then they win, versus the Pipe is just going to kind of keep your teammates alive a little bit longer.
The problem is that the Radiant has pretty good ways to cancel Black Hole, even with the BKB. So he needs to basically get everyone in the Black Hole if it's gonna be viable to go Blink.
Absolutely.
We have to show some insane patience in the fights and wait for the Black Hole.
We see Jakiro. He's going to be picking up a point booster. Does that mean first item Jakiro Ags after Aether Lens?
It seems so, I guess. I don't know what else to get that would make sense.
What do you think of that?
They don't really have much control besides the Black Hole to actually make use of the ulti. So I think he could have gone way better items, to be honest. Maybe he should have gone for the pipe instead of Enigma.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Enigma, spoil yourself, treat yourself, get that Blink Dagger, and let Jakiro kind of do the hard work building up the Pipe of Insight. And Jakiro's timing wouldn't be too bad either. He can always just hop into the neutral camps, throw out some of that liquid fire, and get himself some kills that way.
And Jakiro has gotten a couple of tower kills, I think, as well, so he's pretty rich and happy.
Absolutely. So, the Radiant, it feels like they're at a pretty big disadvantage. If we look at the golden XP charts, actually, XP is in Radiant's favor. Is that just because they've been spending more time split up and farming?
I don't know if anyone has actually split up and farmed this game, to be honest. It's pretty chaotic. The 5-man rotations.
Yeah, and I think it's...
I think the only difference in gold is from Viper winning the mid lane against Zeus.
Speaking of Viper, we're going in on the Zeus right now. The Dark Troll Summoner goes in. There's a beautiful Ravage, catches out 3, but Gyro's BKB'd. He's not feeling the burn, and, well, Enchantress, she's going in, and there's the burn we talked about. Black Hole on top of it is cancelled, and now the Winter's Curse catches the Enigma in place. Viper's going to be burning down, but, no, Gyrocopter, he's got a triple kill. This Gyrocopter is out of control. Will end up dying to tower as he just jukes, I guess, the wrong way around the Enchantress, but... Now, Enchantress TP's back underneath the tower. I think that was a big mistake. She didn't need to go in. She didn't need to sacrifice herself there, and now we're only leaving...
That was not the play.
We're only leaving Positive Dota on the Winter Wyvern alive and ready to go. Recombines the boots for an Aether Lens, saving a little bit of moolah there, and, well, he has to watch his tier 2 burn down.
Crystal Maiden actually picks up Enchantress Smoke in the process. And I'm kind of curious if she can actually use it. She's really close to the Blink Dagger as well, if you want to go for that.
Who is?
Crystal Maiden.
Honestly, I don't know if we're going to see a Crystal Maiden Blink Dagger. Oh, I'm eating my words as I talk. I was going to say maybe go for something utility, like a Force Staff helping out the team, or... heck, maybe even an Aghanim Scepter, because her ulti's done some good work. If she'd let it channel longer, it'd be doing more work.
I think Blink Dagger is better for the ulti than Aghanim Scepter on Maiden, to be honest. Because positioning is more important than actually getting the 10 seconds off. And the damage is there already.
Alright, so Dire, they're going to group up and farm. In terms of Roshan, we still got a long time until we see that respawning, so what's the play here? If you're the Radiant, how do you make the most of the window that you have now?
The Dire is running around as 5 a lot, so I would split push with Anti-Mage as much as possible. He shouldn't be able to die, except from a Black Hole with this Manta style. So he can pressure lanes and push towers.
Zeus
while
ulti
the
not
rest of the
revealing
team
anyone.
defends.
They know that the Dire team are smoked up, they're getting back, they're spooked. And the Dire, what's their move here? They know they've been scouted out. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage is a monster, showing no respect. He's up here in the Dire jungle without any vision. He manages to get a tower all by himself, and Dire aren't punishing right now. They want to go for high ground here. They're going to send their Eidolons in. They're going to be Viper right-clicking it. But the Sproinx lady from the top is going to go in, taking a Viper ult to the face. Now, it looks like this tower might end up falling as all the Dire heroes are reasonably healthy. Yeah, we've got a team fight brewing here, but no one wants to be the one to make the first move. Tide, he's got the Ravage, he's got the Blink off cooldown in a little bit, but does he go in to start things off? Looks like the Dire, they're going to be starting to back things off. They've got the Blink on the Crystal Maiden, getting her back up to the high ground. But, oh, Ravage goes in, connects onto 2. They want to focus down the Enigma first, but the Viper is going to be the target. There is going to be an Ice Path here onto the Tidehunter. He's able to dodge it. Another beautiful Winter's Curse makes sure that Crystal Maiden does go down as the Viper right-clicks are hella strong. Positive Dodo keeping alive with that Cold Embrace. Well played by the Wyvern, securing 3 kills on the side of the Dire.
That was really nice. Nice setup from Tidehunter, stopping them from the track, running back. Good place by Winter Wyvern as well, keeping herself alive at the end as well. But I have to say that Jakiro made a really good play with his ulti and Ice Wall. It's pretty weird they didn't capitalize more of that.
Yeah, I think Tidehunter was able to slightly sidestep it, so it didn't catch him out. If it had caught him out, it would have broken the Ravage. It would have allowed Enigma to TP out without it being broken. That would have been a huge play, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. Unfortunately, the Ice Path was slightly off the mark.
Indeed.
Gyrocopter enjoying his free farm time, but Winter Wyvern maybe looking to punish it, going in, not going to be popping out that Arctic Burn just yet, and no mana for the Splinter Blast. Gyrocopter gets the kill. Wyvern not on point with the deny for that one.
Gonna get the deny on the bot tower instead.
I mean, that's something. But now Anti-Mage going in, taking the Ancient stack, and there's nothing anyone's gonna do about it. Crystal Maiden maybe splitting that XP, but Anti-Mage certainly making himself a nuisance there. Great plays by him. He now has his completed mantle. He's going for a butterfly. I was gonna say Buttle Fury, and that's not right at all. What do you think of the butterfly pickup?
I guess it's fine. If he wants to push, it's probably the best item he can get. Not sure if it's gonna help in team fights at all. Because the Dire are reliant on magical damage, basically.
Alright, we've got Viper starting things off by trying to go in onto Positive Dodo, but Positive Dodo still does have all his spells. He's got Grease up there, courtesy of the Tide, so he's feeling real healthy after that poison, and now Dire, they're in a very commanding position, but Radiant has the tools to deal with this. There's going to be a Ravage off cooldown in 1 second. There we go, all the way up. And, I mean, Dire, they're ready to drop their ults too, but I think Radiant can hold their high ground here if they get their timings off.
Anti-Mage has no TP, otherwise he could have gone mid lane and pushed quite hard. But now he has to run back.
Yeah, Anti-Mage is still holding on to his treads. If he's going for that push build, do you think he has to swap over to Boots of Travel soon?
I personally feel like Boost of Travel is the most broken item in the game, and I usually build it way earlier than anyone else. So I'm slightly biased, but I would say yes, he definitely needs the travels.
Alright, Tidehunter, he's playing, he wants that Ravage, go in man, Blink, you can do it, Blink Ravage, let's see it, come on Tidehunter, he's going in, gonna be forcing out the BKB there on the Gyrocopter, Positive Dodo, oh nice Force Staff, dodging out the Ice Path. Finsky's still looking, he still wants the Ravage, still not gonna bust it up, come on, even just for a solo Crystal Maiden, let's see it. Anti-Mage going in, gets a really nice lockdown here on the Crystal Maiden, able to pop her with the ultimate, now in the backland, look at that long-range Macro Pyre,
wow.
And god, that thing goes on forever, gonna be doing a good job burning down the Enchantress, but the Enchantress, she wants the Gyrocopter, Gyrocopter will end up falling to the Zeus, a really nice long-range Ice Path there as well, courtesy of the Ether Lens, might end up burning down Anti-Mage, but Zeus was killed somehow. I wasn't quite paying attention. I think it was the poison tick, but Jakiro doesn't get out of this one safely. When it's Dragon versus Dragon, the Dragon with the Anti-Mage on his team always wins.
Enigma tried for the Black Hole there, but it got instantly cancelled by the Winter's Curse.
Oh man, I didn't even pick that one up. So Wyvern used the Winter's Curse solely on the... Who'd you pop it on?
The Black Hole was only on the Anti-Mage, and I think it was a defensive one as well, so kind of a wasted ulti there. Or actually, it really was a wasted ulti.
Yeah, that's a really big misplay, and that's going to be costly. There's obviously no refresher online on the Enigma just yet, and it's a level 1 Black Hole. Enigma hasn't chosen to skill it up at level 11. Is that a huge misplay?
I think that's an old version to play Enigma, when the cooldown and damage didn't scale as much as it does today. The level 3 and level 1 Black Hole was basically the same. So I think it might be an old school player playing the Enigma.
Yeah, well, either
I
way...
think cooldown reduction was 10 seconds per level or so.
Yeah, I feel like you'd gain a lot by picking up the extra point. It's not huge. The cooldown goes down a little bit, but the damage goes up a lot.
It's definitely worth to max now, but earlier it was more debatable.
Yeah, so hopefully he grabs an extra point in that at some point soon. Anti-Mage going in very deep, making the Dire jungle his home. He's got that completed butterfly. He is going to have a TP in his stash, but I mean, it's not so useful from his stash when the rest of his team might need him in the racks.
Maybe the Enigma is suffering from lack of confidence and doesn't trust his own black holes.
Well, we're gonna see here is, oh man, we're going in, we got no black hole, but we certainly got the Midnight Pulse. Anti-Mage so slippery, they can't lock him down. This Jakiro, they don't manage to get the Ice Path.
Oh, close.
That was very, very close. Now Anti-Mage has the TP delivered to him, puts another one in his stash. I think just buy the boots of travel, man. It's not that much bigger of an investment, and he's got 3,100 gold. That's 1,700 on top of his buyback.
I mean, for every time he buys the TP scroll, he makes the boots of travel choice like worse.
Up top, Anti-Mage might finally pay the ultimate price, but no. Manages to blink back. The pipe is now down on the side of the Dire for the next little bit. Is Dire just kind of losing their grip?
If Enigma had Black Holder, that's a kill.
Yeah, I bet Enigma wishes he was holding onto that now. Viper and the Radiant are going to scout out that Roche is back up. Radiant make it a priority as they're grouped up here, maybe looking to smoke. Anyone got anything? It's on the courier. We're going to be smoking in. There we go. Smoke being in. They're going to try to go towards the pit, but Dire might not let them have this for free. Gyrocopter definitely wants it. I totally missed Anti-Mage. Manning up top lane. Trying to go here. Is going to get frozen up temporarily. Has the blink if he wants to go. Oh, they're just going to chunk him down with the Zeus. They don't even need the Anti-Mage.
And they got the Gyrocopter as well.
I didn't even notice Gyrocopter was low. Good golly, there's kills all over the place as Enigma, Jakiro, and Gyrocopter are in the well for the next minute. And this is a free Roche for the side.
Anti-Mage may go for the Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, he's going. He's survivable. And yeah, he's going to go down here. Most likely, Viper going to be able to tick him. That's a huge kill. That's over 1,000 gold directly to the Viper. But again, with the Aegis going the way of the Radiant, no matter how slow they're taking it, it's still an advantage.
Yeah, they actually have no damage on the Roshan. But Rosh deals even less damage to the Untouchable, so... This is the slowest Roshan I've ever seen by 4 men in 36 minutes into a game.
Yeah, so it's like a 15-minute Roche, but we're at like 40 minutes. It's because Anti-Mage is all the right-click damage.
That's a level 1 Roche without Ursa.
Yeah. So this is, it's looking real good for the Radiant. Yeah, their racks are under siege. Yeah, they lost bottom, but they're getting the advantages they need to take this into the late game.
That's a weird buyback, though.
Yeah, it is kind of a... You know, there's really nothing to gain from that. I guess maybe going back and farming some more, but it feels like there's more cost-efficient things to do. Winter Wyvern is going to be going for... is that? That's not a Lotus Orb, is it? Is it a Lotus Orb and... Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I don't usually build refreshers, so I get confused when I see two of the rings. I was expecting like a Lincoln's.
Refresher Orb is actually amazing on Winter Wyvern, so I really like this pickup.
Yeah, that's going to be clutch, and it's going to be coming out very soon here for a support that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be high up on the net worth chart. She's holding her own at 6th, above all the rest of the supports of the game.
Well, she has one farming tool, which is the Splinter Blast. It's actually pretty underrated for farming.
Yeah, you just got to make sure her mana's on point for that one. Now we've got all the Dire heroes rotating up. They want to get a second set of racks. Meanwhile, Radiant, they're scattered all over the Dire side of the jungle. There's going to be a TP back from the Winter Wyvern, scouting out that, you know, that's where they're pushing. That's where we got to defend. Is this going to be a base race going on here as Anti-Mage goes in, pops the Manta. He's going to get called down. He's going to get locked in place here, forced to take at least a couple blasts, and will end up falling. Huge kill there. Gyrocopter taking 500 gold for himself.
That was actually the MKB on Gyro doing the work there. Cancel the blink from Anti-Mage.
Nice job.
Or delaying it, at least.
Yeah, I mean, Anti-Mage, he's doing really well in terms of net worth, but very closely followed up by the Gyrocopter. In fact, the Gyrocopter might surpass him.
Yeah, he's
Meanwhile,
gonna do that. He's got 90 seconds without Anti-Mage, and he has no buyback on Anti-Mage.
on the side of the Radiant, Positive Dodo has finished off that Refresher Orb, so we're going to see twice the awesome Winter's Curses.
And he's gonna have to play out of his mind to keep the racks up. Because this is 5 versus 4 for a whole minute.
Yeah, and I mean,
The
Anti-Mage
push
is
is coming.
really their only damage. They've got the Winter's Curse to make the Dire hurt each other, which is probably their best tool here, but the impetus from the Enchantress is great, but she's a very easy target if they want to initiate on
We
her.
can't forget the Zeus. If he gets to spam spells from distance, he can do an amazing amount of damage.
He's
Look
not
at
going to be
the
going down.
Dire
Black Hole
Force.
hits on 3. Beautiful job there by the Enigma. There's going to be a Ravage to cancel the channeling. All of the Radiant heroes still alive now. They're going to be trying to go in. They are going to get the kill on the Enigma first. Beautiful Winter's Curse. Fantastic job getting down the Crystal Maiden as the Viper. He hits too hard. He's killing his own teammates. Viper, he's hitting real damn hard. The Aegis is going to pop here on the Zeus. He'll be back in just a second. They want to get this Enchantress, but Shakiro, he's not fast enough. There's not enough damage. The Ice Path is off the mark. In fact, Positive Dodo taking a little bit of fire there, but it's a complete team wipe. Fantastic work by the Radiant holding this one out. They don't lose their racks, and they get all the Dire heroes down.
That was some insane counterbaiting from both sides. First off, we have Gyrocopter, who tanks everything and dies without doing anything, which makes the Radiant group up for a 3-man black hole, which in turn leads to the Dire grouping up, getting 5-man ravaged. So that was some insane counterbaiting going on.
Absolutely. And now, if we take a look at the net worth chart, it's dipping in favor of the Radiant for the second time this game. Hopefully they can capitalize on that advantage. And Anti-Wedge, you said he was going to fall down on the chart as he was dead for like a minute there. He's actually still holding his own at the top of the net worth chart.
Hey, Gyrocopter dropped quite a lot by dying there, so I think
Yeah.
that negated.
I think what it comes down to is, can an Anti-Mage just be big enough to carry his entire team against a Viper and a Gyrocopter?
I think if he changes his game plan a little bit, he can definitely solo carry this game. He doesn't go for the split push very much, but I think that's the strength of the hero, and the Dire has actually no way of catching him, except Black Hole.
Absolutely.
So he should feel very secure when he's split pushing.
So this is kind of
he
calmed
can-
down a little bit as both teams realizing they have so much to lose. The Dire, they're on their side of the map. The Radiant sticking to their own turf. Where's the next big fight going to come out? Are Radiant going to try to push high ground, or do Radiant wait for Dire to come to them?
I think Dire has came to the Radiant side 3 times in a row, and it didn't end very well in all of those fights. So they might keep going because of stubbornness, but I feel like they should be content to just farm the map at the moment and wait for Radiant's move.
Yeah, I mean, Gyrocopter, he's getting the items he needs. He's doing pretty well here. He's second on the net worth chart by just a small margin. He has the MKB, which you mentioned is super useful up against the Anti-Mage, canceling his blinks. And the Butterfly's nice. Is he going to grab a Satanic next, or are we in, like, Rapier territory?
I would hope for a Travels before Satanic, but Satanic is going to happen sooner or later.
Alright. Radiant deciding they
'Cause
want to...
I don't think the Facebooks does anything for him anymore, anyway.
Yeah, he's not the speediest playing out there, but he's chugging along. I do agree that Travels would be fantastic. I just don't know where you prioritize that. So again, back to a kind of calm game. Anti-Mage the only one ballsy enough to cross the river here, as he's gonna be TPing back to his own lane, making sure this mega creeped lane, or super creeped lane, doesn't push all the way in. Dire, meanwhile, making the Ancient Pit their home. Going in, taking out a stack there as Viper. He's gonna be going for, is this a Rapier?
On who?
Viper?
Viper? No, it can't be. I think it's MKB on him as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's helpful, but I really want it to be I want to see a rapier at least once today. Come on, man.
If you want to see a rapier, then I guess it's Gyrocopter that's gonna get it.
Well,
And he also has
so.
4k gold in the bank.
Oh, he's totally saving up for a rapier. I'm calling it now.
Let's hope. Some classic Avast gaming.
Absolutely. So it's gonna be the Dire once again pushing deep into the Radiant territory. This is what you talked about. Is this the Dire's time to end it all, or is it the Radiant's time to shine?
Well, it's gonna be the same fight as before, but with an anti-mage as well. So I don't see how Dire can possibly justify this push, but let's see what happens.
I mean, they've got all their big ultimates. They have the Black Hole. They've got that ridiculous Macro Pyre on Jakiro with the Ether Lens.
Oh, and they almost have a refresher on Jakiro.
Yeah, oh man. Looks like Enchantress doing what she can with those impetuses, but Viper gonna be catching that Viper Strike. Nice Viper Strike dodge, or attempt to dodge from the Anti-Mage. I don't think it actually ends up working out, but the Dire are driven off, and that's a lot of time being wasted.
The problem is that the Radiant is not using this time on anything. They're grouping up as 5. Oh, they smoked now. Let's see what happens.
I think they're gonna go try to catch anyone out. If they can get the Ravage, that's gonna be absolutely enormous. Oh, they're going in. They're gonna catch out the Viper before he even has a chance to respond, and Chantra's getting the kill for that, courtesy of those fantastic chunks of damage she can do. Now Tidehunter, he wants to go in. He wants to find something. Can he do it? There we go. The tentacles fly, but the Gyrocopter, he's in the other direction. Crystal Maiden coming in now. There's going to be a Cold Embrace, keeping that Tidehunter healthy for now. Crystal Maiden invising up against the Anti-Mage, but he's able to wait this one out. He's going to be Manta-ing himself off. There's a Dust. Doesn't catch out the CM. But I think this is Radiant's opportunity to shine. There's no more Viper right-click for another minute.
Well, he has buyback, so... And they're going to back off, actually.
I think that's the right play. We are going to have the Roche up in just about a minute. I think Radiant are in a much better position to take that. They can make more use of the Aegis as well. That Aegis could be game-winning.
Who do they get the Aegis on, though? Because I don't think Anti-Mage wants it.
Oh man, you're right. I honestly think they could do some work with the Enchantress. Have her drop her TP or her empty drums or something, because she's doing so much damage in the fight with her impetuses, and, you know, heck, even the Sproinks are helping keep her teammates alive.
Is this gonna be a cheese rush, or just a regular one?
No.
It's a cheese.
It is a cheese.
So, maybe you put the cheese on Enchantress and the Aegis on Zeus.
I mean, but with an Aegis Zeus, is he... You know, if he loses his first life, he's most likely just immediately going to lose his second. I don't know. You know, maybe he comes back to life, casts his Thunder God's Wrath, and then, you know, he's out again?
Yeah, but that allows him to play way more aggressive and bait spells, because he's going to be the target in fights.
Alright, Radiant C.
If they...
The Roche is back up. It's going to be scouted up by the Dire and the Radiant. And now the Radiant know that the Dire has their eyes on the prize. Can they counter-initiate here?
Gyrocopter is on the top lane. He's dipping now.
Enigma's trying to zone out the Anti-Mage as much as he can. They're gonna go in. There's a nice bash. There's a solo Black Hole here on the Anti-Mage. He's barely taking any damage. He's feeling fine. He's gonna slap up the Enigma. Meanwhile, Tidehunter gets a kill somewhere on the map on the Crystal Maiden. And now Viper, he's in some trouble going through. There's going to be impetuses flying. They get down the Viper. Finally, they might lose the Anti-Mage. He's going to try his best to live, but Gizmo in the BKB form might not be so lucky. Zeus is going to come through. He doesn't have the Thunder God's Wrath, but the Rocket Barrage, it's going to end in a final Sproink. Will connect. Double kill there for the Enchantress. Only the Jakiro left to tell the tale. Going to be gushed up, slapped up. Anchor Smash coming through. There's going to be a Zeus with that damage coming through. And finally... another Anchor Smash secures the kill. That's a Roche in favor of the Radiant. Most likely a couple lanes of racks as well. There's a buyback from the Gyrocopter, but what does he do with that?
If the fight was prolonged, he could actually join the fight, but now it's gonna be a wasted buyback for sure. And yeah, I don't know how they come back from this, to be honest.
I mean, I think Radiant, you know, screw the Roshan. Let's get some racks while we can. That's their goal here, and I think they could take
force a buyback on on the Viper. Jakiro has no buyback, by the way.
Alright, call down here. Gizmo getting kind of low, and Enchantress may end up falling. In fact, she will go down, be the first casualty here. That's at 868 gold in her pocket, and she drops a gem as well. So Viper feeling real happy about that. League of Legends could be in some trouble as well, gonna defensively Yules himself, but goodbye, Zeus. I think Dire, they did exactly what they needed in that fight, and Radiant should have prioritized the Roshan.
And that was buybacks on Viper and Gyrocopter. So the game plan from the Radiant is quite simple. Kill one of those two and get Rax.
Yeah, it's going to be a heck of a lot harder, though, when they now are going to have that Aegis of the Immortal going down.
Indeed.
So it's a slow Roche still, even for, you know, for 50 minutes in the game, and for the amount of right-click that Dire have, it's still not going down too quickly. They're going to smoke out of the pit. The cheese is going to go the way of the Viper. Gyrocopter grabbing up the Aegis. I think that's the right move. He now has that Satanic online here. He's still holding on to the phase boots, though. Come on, man, you can afford some travels, especially because he doesn't have buyback. I think, you know, just buy up the boots to travel.
With that in mind, he needs to go travels.
Are they going to try to look to punish the anti-mage here, who's way up in the top lane? Dire have vision of him. Are they going to try to lock him down? There's no black hole online for another 45 seconds. They're going to use the Maleficus, sorry, and go in with the Rocket Barrage, but again, he blinks to safety. What are they going to do to stop him? They are going to cast a missile! They're going to get it! The cooldown comes through! Anti-Mage still feeling kind of healthy, blinks himself deeper into the trees. They know he's there, they want him. Enigma blinks in, but he's separated just a little bit. Enigma now has to TP out. Oh, a little bit of aggressive play there, and you know, the spookiness from the Anti-Mage pays off. He's safe. Or is he? Crystal Maiden, she wants it! She's going to go in. Does she dance? She doesn't have enough mana for the ultimate.
I think Anti-Mage might be juking himself to death here.
But look at the space! Is so much space. They know he's here. He's probably going to try to juke the other way. Nope. Continuing to juke. Juke this way. They want him. Dire is spending so much time for this. They finally give up, maybe assuming he TP'd out or something, but Anti-Mage could easily hop back into the wave, cut the lane, do whatever he needs to do, because Radiant, they're finally getting out of their base to push and get more XP.
Enigma is getting close to the BKB, but I don't think that's gonna help him that much.
What
it's
a ridiculous
actually only
play.
2 stuns.
Yeah, we're gonna have Enchantress here. She TP's back, she's going in with the Sprunk, but she's gonna get immediately frozen up by the Crystal Maiden. There's a call down coming down for her as well. She's trying to hop to safety, the Untouchable doing its work. She still does end up falling. There's gonna be a nice Winter's Curse, but it's not enough. Finally, Viper going in, using that ultimate once again on the Anti-Mage. She's going to try to blink Black Hole and nothing! Oh, Enigma, that is not the ultimate you needed. There's going to be another Winter's Curse here. Enigma will get chunked down by his own Viper. Great job there from Positive Dodo. He ends up dominating here, and the racks are going to fall. There's a nice ultimate from the Tidehunter. Aegis is burned now on the Gyrocopter. He's coming back, but the cheese is gobbled up by the Viper. Will he end up falling here? He does. Can he fall? No, he's limber caped up. He's going to get out. Oh, that's so frustrating. Viper gets out with just a sliver of HP. I think the Dire, they try to just get out here scot-free. Anti-Mage going in, getting those lucky procs with the Abyssal Blade. Uses the cooldown on it, and Gyrocopter, why are you staying here? Oh, he died. He didn't need to die.
And Jakiro? Oh, he got up. That was close.
Yeah, he got out just in time. I don't think they had enough damage to lock him down, and they didn't have the reaction time to be able to go in and stun him up, but I think Dire gave away a kill on that Gyrocopter when they really didn't need to, and he has no buyback. That's really bad.
This is most likely Rax and possibly even game. They're quite lucky that Viper survived actually, because they had vision with the lightning bolt when he was glimmered.
Crystal Maiden picks up a BKB. Is that the item she needed right now?
They have 2 ways to cancel her BKB ulti as well as Enigma's. I guess a good ulti from her can force.
Speaking of BKBs, we got one. She's gonna take out the Tidehunter there, showing off the shiny new BKB. Looking out, they're gonna get this.
Yeah, she picks 2 kills with that. I guess that's a good.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And It's now time for the Dire to push or die. They're losing their grip on the game. The Radiant, they know as soon as Viper dies, as soon as Gyrocopter dies again, it's GG, so it's now or never. They're going to be probably grouping up as 5, looking for finishing off that mid-racks and going in for top.
It's actually quite amazing that Dire got away with this.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of overall XP and net worth, it's in favor of the Radiant now pretty heavily. This is their game to lose, so Dire, they know they've lost their grip. They know it's coming down to the final pushes. It's time to get in here, give it everything they got. They got their big ultis up, except for Crystal Maidens. Still needs 40 seconds on that. Going in with that Malefice. They're going to try to get the Black Hole. They do. They get 2 in the Black Hole. Viper's here to follow up with the damage. There's going to be a Macro Pyre as well, but it's canceled. They get the Winter's Curse. Enigma's going to fall here, and I think that's going to be GG. This is absolutely amazing play by the Winter Wyvern, and now Viper, he's getting low. Can they get the kill here? He does cast the ultimate, but there's going to be a Ravage as well. It catches out 2. They get the Crystal Maiden. They get the Viper. Gyrocopter, he's all the way in the top lane, just trying to live, trying to get out of here and TP back from the Jakiro, but this is definitely Radiant's time to just end it all.
Gyro needs to go for the Rapier now.
Yay! I mean, he's got the gold.
Needs to. For us and for himself.
I mean, that's such a YOLO item though, and he's already so far behind. I mean, Jakiro,
Let's see if Jakiro can hold this with this refresher.
If there's any build of Jakiro that can hold the high ground, it's this one, but I don't think he's adding enough to his team. I would have rather seen Jakiro carry the pipe and let Enigma go for an earlier refresher, but Enigma's going for the BKB now. We are going to have Enchantress getting burned quite low. Looks like she will end up falling. So the Radiant give up an unnecessary kill, but we are still going to see an Ice Path come through. Great job by Jakiro. Thunder God's Wrath rolling through. Can they get the Gyrocopter down here? That would be enormous. He's burning courtesy of that Winter Wyvern. And
the question is, why is not Anti-Mage in that push?
That's a very good question. He's kind of making his own space, going in here, trying to finish off this tier 3 tower. He's flying solo though. There's a piped up Dire team waiting for him.
Winter Wyvern just found a gem sitting on the ground outside the Dire base.
Well, that's hers now. It's such a tense moment in the game because Dire, it feels like, you know, every step ahead they take, Radiant can hold it out. They can continue to push on their own, so for right now, Dire has all their racks. Radiant's missing 1.5, but it's, I think it's Radiant's game to lose.
I completely agree with that. Anti-Mage almost got killed on the top lane, by the way.
Yeah, and he ends up stopping to farm on his way out, so a little bit of a cocky play there. He's going to pick up a regen rune. Happy birthday, man. That's exactly what you asked for.
Oh, he needs to look out. He can't go for this play.
Oh, he wants to, though.
Enigma there. He got a moon shard and ate it.
I like that. I mean, he has so much gold, but
no buyback on Anti-Mage.
He's going to get that 537 pretty quickly. I don't think Dire are going to push hard enough that he's not going to be able to get that farm he needs to have buyback. It's not like he's incredibly far away. Mid lane, we could see the initiation come out here as the Dire looking to just go in and finish off this lane of racks. Finally, League of Legends will be taking a missile right to the face. It's going to be a forced death out from the Tidehunter. He doesn't want to do this until it's time. He does have the Ravage ready to burn if he wants to. And, he's taking this sweet time. Doesn't want to blink in till the moment is exactly right. The pipe is now up. Is he going to go in for the Ravage? Now, BKB cast on the Gyrocopter. He might have missed his window. Gyrocopter getting very, very low now. Anti-Mage wants to go in. He's just cleaning up the creeps. There's going to be a Ravage. It does catch out a bunch of heroes on the back lines. Gyrocopter falls. They're going to get a really nice Macro Pyre, but the Winter's Curse, it's enough, man. That's just so good. They're going to be burning down the Enchantress. And the 3 remaining Dire heroes are just going to lose their lives here. They take out the Enigma. They manage to take out the Jakiro. There's a blink away from the Crystal Maiden. Can she get out alive? She has the Glimmer in 4 seconds. I guess they let her off with a warning this time unless Anti-Mage blinks right now. Nope, he doesn't have vision.
I just want to point out how good that Winter's Curse was. Because Enigma blinked into the Winter's Curse with BKB.
Oh man, poor guy. had to kill his own buddy there. And
so it would have been a 3-man black hole, I think, with BKB, but he got Winter Cursed instead.
Gyrocopter has buyback here. Does he burn it just
Wait,
for
it
the
doesn't have
Anti-Mage?
BKB. Oh, it was Crystal Maiden who was BKB. That makes more sense then.
Speaking of Crystal Maiden, she's gonna go in aggressively Frostbite here. She could end up losing her life as Anti-Mage blinks in. Gonna be using that Glimmer Cape. That is a value Glimmer Cape right there. But she may end up losing a set of racks. They're gonna be fortifying again here. Anti-Mage, he's diving deep, taking aggro from the tier 4s. He's not super duper tanky, so he's gotta watch this. And that's a clean set of racks in favor of the Radiant. They're probably gonna clean up this top set too. Viper's now back. There's gonna be a Gyrocopter back too. There's a BKB Crystal Maiden, but she goes into her ultimate and doesn't really catch out anyone. Meanwhile, on the back lines, there's everything committed for the Anti-Mage. They do get him down. The Winter's Curse might finish off the Enigma here. He will drop. Awesome play again by the Winter's Wyvern. And Crystal Maiden going in. She gets a nice freeze here onto Zeus. Defensive Yules. I think he's still going down. It's a worthwhile... No, it's not a worthwhile trade, but it's something.
There was no buybacks used on the Dire side, so I think they're pretty happy with that outcome.
Yeah, in terms of fight recap, it's actually almost 2,600 in favor of the Dire.
But the question is if... I still feel like Radiant is on the advantage here, but I think Anti-Mage needs to step up his game and make more use of the space he has and push the lanes more.
He's trying to go in and do that Rat Dota thing, but sometimes he just really needs to be with his team, and you know, he's a big part of their damage. I think it's Anti-Mage, and then the second source of damage is going to be those Winter Wyvern curses coming out and making Viper kill his own teammates. There's going to be our fourth Roche of the game, I believe, coming out right now. Dropping the cheese, dropping the Aegis in favor of the Dire.
I guess Jakiro is the one going for the cheese.
Yeah. So it's dragon on dragon here. I didn't realize how many dragons we have. We got Viper, we got Jakiro, we got Winter Wyvern, and we are all conglomerating here near the mid lane. Maybe trying to just push and end. Dire, what are they looking to achieve out of this? Are they going for tier 4s or are they going for a team wipe?
I honestly don't know what they're going to look for. I think they should just push the top lane, but they're obviously not doing that.
Alright, we've got our first Viper strike of the game to start things off. They're going to go on to the Enchantress. They are going to use the Crystal Maiden. Oh, but another Winter's Curse cancels it! They're going to go through. They're going to get a Ravage as well. And that's going to be, in fact, amazing. As Crystal Maiden falls, Anti-Mage, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. Another Ravage comes through. Tide showing off that shiny refresher and might end up getting another kill here. He will break the Aegis on the Gyrocopter, but on the Viper, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, Enchantress will end up getting frozen up, might end up falling, takes another Viper Strike, and will go down. They are going to get the Jakiro here on the back lines. Viper, if he loses a second life, that's huge. That's an Aegis and a Viper life down. And it's just a bloody massacre.
With this push.
Yeah, Dire, they just kind of got in and died. Now, oh my god, on the back line, Anti-Mage is able to take out the Gyrocopter. Can he live through this? Cold Embrace comes through. Fantastic play. Positive Dota once more is going to go through. Has the... That's an ultra kill for the Anti-Mage here. He has 7,300 gold. Gyrocopter buys back immediately, but what does he hope to achieve when the rest of his team is still dead?
They have buybacks on more heroes, so I guess they will sooner or later buy back as well.
I mean, they have the buybacks, but it's coming down to it. Crystal Maiden buys back. Anti-Mage deciding not to go for the tier 4s here, should be pushing out lanes. He's waiting in the mid, but I think the action has to be concentrated elsewhere as there's still two standing set of racks.
I honestly don't understand the BKB pickup on Anti-Mage when he can go Heart instead.
Yeah, I think that would help
the damage.
His survivability would be fantastic with that. There's going to be a call down from the Gyrocopter. Anti-Mage just walking near out of range. Doesn't really care. Crystal Maiden going in. She's got the ult ready to drop. Radiant forced back for now. This is such a tense game as there's been so many high ground attempts, but so little accomplished in the last 20 minutes. How do you see this ending? Do you think this is going to be another 30 minutes, or do you think we're going to see one final push and GG?
I think The smoked on the Dire now, and I'm just gonna predict that they will take a team fight, get wiped, and then Antimage will actually start hitting buildings this game.
Well, I hope you
But-
are right.
The game is already over 60 minutes long, so
Yeah, and I mean, in
I don't
terms
know.
of overall XP and net worth for a 60-minute game, it's not actually out of control. Radiant obviously have a huge advantage in terms of gold, in terms of levels, but it's not astronomical. It's not
I
insurmountable.
think everyone has died way too much to have high networks.
Yeah, I mean, Antimage,
It's actually Winter Wyvern with the lowest death count.
and she's third on the net worth chart. She's above the Viper. My goodness.
Yeah, that's actually quite impressive.
She's top dragon. Oh, we gotta blink in here. They're gonna get the Crystal Maiden pick off before she can do anything. There's a call down. Crystal Maiden's still alive. No, she does end up falling to the Zeus Thunder God Wrath. There's gonna be a BKB from the Anti-Mage going in onto the Gyrocopter. They finish him off. This could be it. And Anti-Mage, he casts the Manta, going in, slapping up the Jakiro. There's another Winter's Curse, making sure the Enigma can't do anything. And another Ravage gets him down as well. This is... Everything is going Radiant's way, and I think everyone's calling the GG, rightfully so, as Anti-Mage is going to TP towards this top lane. Just go in, they're going to smack down the tiers, or the racks, smack down the tier 4s, and end with the throne.
So that went actually exactly like I said 30 seconds ago. I didn't
Absolutely.
believe I would be that right.
No, I mean, you're right. I think Dire, they just desperately wanted to hold on to that advantage and kept throwing themselves into the hands of the Radiant, and the Radiant took that little by little and grew into big kids, and now they're big enough to take the Dire base. This is it. This has got to be GG. Fantastic playing here. Anti-Mage managed to climb his way to the top of the net worth by a huge margin, but MVP 100% goes to Positive Dodo for those unbelievably clutch Winter's Curses.
Yeah, I agree.
In the
And
end, there's
Anti-Mage
items
drops
dropped all
his
over the
weapons.
ground. I wonder whose items those are. But yeah, fantastic plays all around here. Awesome game to watch, I thought.
It was a nice game plan from the Dire side. The game plan was to bang their heads into the Radiant base hard enough to force something, and they got 2 racks, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised how well the Radiant held over and over again, and they just kept getting more XP and gold and found their window, pushed in, found the kills, and well, that's going to be the end. I really hope you enjoyed the replay cast. Again, I'm Annie. I have been joined by my lovely co-caster. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter. I think it's on the top right corner of your Twitch right now. It's Eric Medkeke for CC.
Alright, well thanks so much for joining me, man. You offered a lot of awesome analysis. Again, I hope you enjoyed the replay. If you have feedback, feel free to leave it below. Like, follow, subscribe, whatever you want to do, and I will see you all next time.